let the word go forth.
Fool me once.
Are you fired up?
I'm not a crook.
Are you ready to go?
Shame on you.
It's Abe Lincoln's Top Hat, hosted by Ben Kissel.
Fool me, we can't get fooled again.
I mean, I just don't understand what's going on with the 7 train.
It's Bill de Blasio.
It's de Blasio.
I blame big government.
Get one last name. Get one last name.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Is that good, Marcus?
That's great.
Oh, all right. Welcome to the show, everyone. That's Marcus Parks. I'm Ben Kissel. We're joined by Travis Irvine and Katherine Timpf.
Yeah.
Timpf, you did Fox and Friends this morning. How was it?
I did. It was great. It was so much fun. I haven't been on there for a couple weeks.
Yeah. You still have your fake hair and it looks wonderful.
I still have my fake hair. I'm wearing 2 tracks right now. I look like a princess and I feel like a princess.
I know you got a lot of action. There was a fellow who was tweeting at you, Boob Inspector.
Boob Inspector.
On Twitter.
He has been fooled by my H&M bra.
Yeah. You really puff him out for the Fox and Friends.
You know, H&M, I wear, they have, it's perfect because I'm very small. I have basically no boobs. And H&M, being the wonderful company that it is, really wants little girls to be able to fake giant boobs.
Yeah, that's great.
My bra registers on my bathroom scale, my Fox News bra.
8 ounces.
Well, I don't know about all of that. A couple ounces.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like sometimes they get a 0.1 or a 0.2 on the bra I wear in Fox.
It's all the deception, though. It's all those female lies.
Well, Boob Inspector is under the impression that I have boobs to inspect.
He is not good at his job.
He's not good at his job.
You failed, Boob Inspector.
Boob Inspector is under the. I mean, I didn't know. You saw his Twitter. His cover photo was just some giant
boobs.
Giant boobs.
What is he hashtag fun bags, hashtag titties, hashtag sweater meat?
Sweater meat was a new one.
What'd you guys talk about on Fox and Friends this morning?
Well, I was part of a panel, aka couch discussion, where I was sitting on the end as normal.
How were the legs feeling?
I was flexing the thigh as normal. We talked about who should pay on a first date.
What do you think about it?
If the dude doesn't pay, it's not a date.
That's what I believe as well. What do you think, Travis?
Yep.
If the dude doesn't pay, it's not a date. It's 2 bros hanging out.
I mean, the female versus male controversy this week has been intense with that hashtag yes all women, that Elliot Rodgers dude, who, I mean, obviously gay. We all know he's gay, right? Definitely.
100%.
For sure. And then he wrote all that stuff about hating women, but then he ended up killing what? He killed 4 dudes and 2 chicks, right?
3 dudes and 2 chicks.
Ooh. Oh, okay. What do you think about that hashtag yes all women?
I don't know what it means because I don't give enough of a shit of this weird. I mean, too many real problems that women face for Twitter problems.
Yeah, it's a Twitter issue.
I mean, come on.
It's hashtag activism.
That's what we were talking about.
There are women in other countries having their clits hacked off, and here we are. Hashtag all women. Hashtag. I mean, come on.
But I think that was the point. I think it's supposed to be a global campaign discussing, the problems.
Well, there's
with
some women that are too
world.
busy getting their clits hacked off to participate.
Yeah, that is a bad thing to have on your to-do list.
It's horrible.
Gotta go shopping. Gotta get my nails done. Get the clit cut off.
It's horrible.
Yeah. It's not great. You like your clit?
I love it. It brings me more joy than anything else so far.
Yeah, the whole thing. I agree.
I just made my TV face, but nobody can tell because this is radio.
That was a nice TV face.
Thank you.
This has got it down.
Well, the whole hashtag yes all women came in response to hashtag not all men.
Yeah, what's this? No,
sure, yeah.
I hate all this hashtag. Okay, so what's hashtag not all men?
Hashtag not all men was after the Elliot Rodger shooting.
Yeah.
The hashtag not all men came out to say hey, listen, not all men are misogynists. Not all men think the way that this guy do. But not all men.
Well, no man thinks the way this guy thinks.
Yeah.
He was an attractive guy, right?
He blew people away.
No, there are plenty of people that think the way this guy thinks. I've been spending some time on the pickup artist forums.
Oh, I heard all about this pickup artist nonsense.
Copycats?
Yeah, I mean, guys that are 100% behind him, guys that are really down for the Elliot Rodgers cause. Of course, they're not going to do anything, but they are still behind the cause.
Marcus, Google Elliot Rodgers fangirls, because I bet you that some chicks are super hot over this dude right now.
Oh, yeah, the James Holmes fangirls.
Really big in the Hot Topic scene, I bet. They're going to see Elliot Rodgers buttons sold at Hot Topic.
Oh, man, he wouldn't be caught dead in Hot Topic, but I'll tell you, Jinko jeans and Elliot Rodgers love, man. That's all the rage. It's going to be
They
it's gonna be huge.
understand him, okay?
Yeah, they get it.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy should have just gotten laid, right, Travis? I mean, he's an attractive dude.
He's 22.
Right.
Just go for it.
Just do it. Just get it done.
But maybe this goes back to what Kat's always talking about. He's been pussified
Right.
by society.
So he's scared to get in there, scared to address the ladies, doesn't know how to do it right.
So he kills them all.
He needed Klonopin.
What, yeah, you think so?
Some benzos to chill him out.
I mean, I feel like it's really the selfie problem, isn't it? He just like filmed himself a whole bunch of times.
Yeah.
Nobody was there to tell him that he was totally insane, and then he was just writing. I think what happens now is people live out their theatrical fantasies in
Yeah.
real life, and they blur the line. You know, like Martin Scorsese wrote some really messed up shit, but I've heard he's a teddy bear. You know, he's just a sweet dude.
Yeah.
But he wrote like some, everyone dies. What, did he make Chinatown?
No.
That's Roman Polanski who raped a 13-year-old
Oh yeah.
girl.
Well,
yeah,
I mean, he was
He's
recovering
also
from
messed
Sharon
up.
Tate. I mean,
Great directors, Woody Allen. The list goes on and on. But no, you're right.
Man.
Scorsese wrote the thing. He even in Taxi Driver, he plays the guy in the back of the car who talks about taking a shotgun to a woman's pussy.
Right.
Do you remember that scene?
I don't remember. I mean, that seems like the worst way to get your clit cut off, though.
Well, I think
A lot of collateral labia damage.
Yes,
Oh
all
my
women.
god! Yeah, I mean that's a recurring theme. Seven, doesn't somebody?
Oh, yeah.
A knife.
Yeah. What is that? What's the fascination with dudes and the female clit? I guess they just don't want to have an orgasm. They don't want ladies to have an orgasm their entire life.
Orgasm. That's an important part of an orgasm, if not necessary.
I've heard it's the most important. I mean, I don't know. I hate all this Facebook stuff. Facebook has become a form. A lot of the ladies on there are all discussing their. By the way, did you find any fangirls for Elliot Rodgers?
no, not a one.
Not one, huh?
Not even close.
What?
Well, I mean, I think
Very
Elliot
rare.
Rodgers is there with Adam Lanza. Lanza didn't have any fangirls
right.
either.
Well, he looked ridiculous.
Yeah.
They got these crazy eyes, But he bought a gun legally.
Had he gotten
he bought 3 guns legally.
Had he gone to prison, he would have been on Prison Wives. I think it's just because
think
he's
so?
dead. Prison Wives, it's like women, more than anything, they want to be the only woman that understands a bad boy and they
Sure.
turn him around. Believe me,
And I mean,
I watch a lot of investigation discoveries.
Oh yeah, no, these prison wives are nuts. But I think once you get married, then you can do the conjugal visits and things like that.
Not always. Some of these women, and it's not in every state, they just start writing letters with these guys, and they think that some of these women have careers, and they throw their lives away to like follow them around to whatever prison they go to make it more convenient for visiting.
Yeah.
Because they want to be like, oh, he's so dark, and I'm the only one who understands him.
And they don't have to deal with a stinky ass all day long. I mean, I feel like, a dude in prison is just a perfect husband for a gal. If she doesn't really want to have too much intimate contact, and then she always knows where he is.
She always.
So that's good. He's definitely not banging a bunch of other chicks.
No, he's definitely not.
know.
He's definitely not banging a bunch of other chicks.
No.
They just like read the emotional letters and masturbate, and that's enough.
It's kind of sweet,
Yeah.
kind of romantic. It's like
For
a
a lot
long
of
distance
women.
relationship. It's like those letters you hear in that documentary Ken Burns the War all about
yeah.
World War II. The letters those dudes were
that's
sending to
right.
their
I
wives.
was just thinking it's
Oh,
exactly
Lord.
like
They got one picture of her.
Oh, yeah.
Lock it.
And she's gaining, 50, 60 pounds, but she lives forever in that picture. It's great.
they can get as chubby as they want.
Oh, it's ideal.
I would love to be able to get as chubby as I want, but I
Yeah.
can't because then my career's over.
Yeah, you're done. You're not on Fox and Friends anymore if you're fat. I don't think a fat girl's been on Fox since they probably had some sort of
I
lesbian
can't remember.
Democrat on
I
there.
can't even actually think
Tucker
of a
Carlson.
Oh, yeah, he's a chubby guy.
I love Tucker Carlson. I saw
Yeah.
him today when I was he's like a puppy dog.
He's a nice guy.
He's a really nice guy.
Do you think this hashtag yes all women distracts from the real argument of like mental health and guns? I know, Catherine, you love guns.
I think that there's too much of an argument about guns versus you don't need a gun because, to defend your home against other people. I think that if the government is the only people to have guns, I don't know, you need guns maybe in case the government tries to.
But didn't they have guns in Afghanistan and Iraq and stuff, and then we just went in there and killed all of them?
Yeah, we had better guns.
We had better guns.
Yeah, but I feel like the government's always going to have better guns.
The government's always going to have better
That-
guns.
which is
They're going to
what-
have
that
drones.
is-
They're going to
yeah.
have tanks, body armor. If the
Yeah.
government wants you dead, you will
They'll
die.
be- yeah, that. Yeah.
I mean,
the
that's
Second Amendment
interesting.
guys are just like,
I mean,
yeah, good luck with your musket, dude.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've gone to like NRA rallies where there's like a law that you can only buy like one gun a day. And
One
these
a
gu-
day?
And these
Oh, my
guys are like,
goodness.
"Yeah,
Good
man,
law.
you're
It's
trampling
good
on
law."
my rights. I want to buy as many guns a day I want."
I
And
feel like
that is disconcerting, even though I don't
scary.
necessarily. Yeah, it's like okay, I don't necessarily think it's something needs to be like a law, whatever, blah blah blah.
What's the
Until
fascination,
you
though?
started whining about one gun a day, now I'm starting to think there needs to be a law because you guys are creeping me out.
Oh, I mean,
That's
these
not
are the
for
same
hunting.
guys who show up at 11:05 at McDonald's and get pissed because they're not serving breakfast anymore. I mean, they're just complaining about everything. These dudes who are complaining about not one gun a day. I mean, who cares? One gun a day is all you need. You buy the gun. I mean, that's my complaint about it. It is truly the adult toys. It's just a kid
For the record-
who wants another goddamn Teenage
For the
Mutant Ninja
record,
Turtle
I have
toy.
no guns, but if any creepy men are listening, I have a lot of guns in my apartment.
Oh, yeah, don't mess
But
with
for the
Tim.
record-
Oh, you mess with Tim. I'm a massive man, and I have no desire to live anymore. So you're always safe.
Right.
Yeah, of course, Joe the plumber weighed in on the guns issue.
Wurzelbacher.
It's about time.
Yeah, Joe Wurzelbacher. Well,
Love
actually,
him.
his name is Samuel Wurzelbacher.
What?
But Joe the plumber is just the moniker that he got during the 2000?
2000, yeah, it's 08.
Yeah.
I am astounded, first of all, by the ability. Sarah Palin is the most successful failed vice presidential candidate.
Yeah, no
Oh, she's
shit.
wonderful. I don't know if Boob Inspector's following her on Twitter though.
I went to CPAC this past year, and she was the keynote speaker.
That's right.
People stayed to listen to her speak unironically.
Yeah.
Unironically.
They love her. She's a charming gal, you know. I mean, she gets stumped by simple questions.
She has a really short haircut now.
She does?
Not
She lo-
acceptable for a female. Ladies, it is not acceptable if you don't have some sort of medical issue to have short
What do you
hair.
mean? Why can't you have short hair?
Oh, come on, short
Because
hair
ew.
seems like somebody's
Because
hitting menopause.
ew.
What do you mean? I love some good short hair.
I'm not clipping fake hair into my head because dudes want short hair. I didn't spend money on this week.
Yeah, but that's because you're on Fox and Friends, and they appeal to people who have Twitters like Titty Inspector.
Yeah.
Boob inspector.
I'm sorry.
Titty inspector would be a lot.
Please.
But
show
I
him
do
some
feel like a
respect.
princess.
I mean, yes.
I was sexually harassed on the street more than I was yesterday.
Well, this is the thing with the hashtag Yes All Women. This is what women are saying. They're always sexually harassed, and they hate it. They don't want it anymore.
I do hate that. I mean, like, I live in Harlem, and I am horrified every time I walk down the street. I had somebody actually grab my arm and pull him towards me on the street, and it was absolutely horrible. I felt so violated, and he laughed at me. And there's like all these cops sitting on the corner just like talking to each other, and I'm like, cool,
they're
you
not
guys
doing
are doing a great job. Like, because where I live, I was listening to a Lou Reed song, Waiting for the Man, and I was singing along, and he said, like, up to Lexington, 125, and I'm like, oh my God, that's where I live. This has been a heroin hotspot for
New
a
York
bajillion
moment.
years.
40
These
years.
cops are doing a great job on this corner where it's been a heroin hotspot for so many years.
I've put forward the theory, very sound, that I think it's a CIA drug den.
Over there on Lexington and 125th, huh?
Yeah.
And why do you think that?
Because it's known that the CIA has injected drugs throughout the community.
And these are also government buildings, so the government owns them, and so this is the vast majority of where all this is happening.
Federally owned apartment buildings and so forth, and it's just, and so they never bust them.
Honestly, though, my neighborhood does have a lot of candy stores with no candy in them.
Oh,
That's right.
And there's
Adult
police in
candy
there all the
stores.
time, and they all have the same. What's it called? The thing,
Electronic,
bellies.
no, like whatever, like
neon
Facade?
flashing.
the whatever. I'm
Front?
dumb. The front of the
Sign?
store
Sign.
looks the same.
Yeah, you're talking about a
It's
sign?
same font. No, it's
The
like
word
like
candy.
the little like thing over
A
the
window.
store.
A
No.
rainbow.
Awning.
Yeah,
They have the same
God,
awning. All right, we got there.
There we go.
They have the same.
We're all
Awning
first, yeah, this is
inspectors.
our language, right? This is
They
our
have the
first language,
same-
English? Okay.
They have the same awning, same color, same font, everything from a candy store to Hong Kong Chinese restaurant to blah 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 blah. And it's like, okay, this can't be legit. I don't know if it's a CIA.
It's all heroin. It could
but
be,
it's
man.
It's somebody that's running that neighborhood that is determined for it to continue to be the most famous and enduring hotspot in America,
The
and also my
CIA has
neighborhood.
put drugs all over this country. That's why, of course, we have the huge prison rates and things like that. And then the guns that are all around, people are killing themselves for these drugs. It's a vicious cycle.
We gotta legalize all drugs.
You want all
Yes,
drugs legalized?
I agree.
Yeah, didn't they? I think the crime rate in Denver since drugs have been legalized there, or since weed has been legalized there, it has dropped.
Absolutely.
I want
drastically.
Because
I
you've
want
taken-
legal heroin.
Yeah, you've taken this thing that everybody wants out of the criminal market, and you just made it a business like everything else.
The murder rate dropped 50%.
So there's one person now being killed, huh? There was two last year. Hey, who gets killed in Denver?
Just a dude having a good time.
You were just in Denver,
just
and
there
you
last
experienced the legal pot. How was it? Were people savages and ravages and going crazy over the stuff?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
as in like just smoking it all the time.
Right.
It was pretty ridiculous.
It went from 17 homicides to 8.
That's
From
great.
January
That
to-
was not that much of an exaggeration, by the way.
Yeah, you cut
17
it's literally
to
been cut
8.
in half. Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
Sexual assault went down too, from 110 to 95.
Oh, man.
Robbery went down 351 to 334. Aggravated assault went down 709 to 683.
People are too stoned to rape anybody.
I've never heard of a rapist being like, I smoked a huge joint. and then went,
so much weed.
They're just gonna rape that piece of pizza.
oh my goodness.
Yeah, the only thing that the two things that went up was larceny went up 7% and arson went up 135%.
Well, fire's cool.
Yeah, you
and
fall asleep.
high.
That'll
Fire's
happen.
Oh shit! I burned down my house.
That is the side effect
Plus,
you didn't see coming.
sometimes you cook some food.
Yeah.
You
That's
leave
great.
the gas on
But
for a
then
couple
firemen
days.
have more to do. It all works out.
Yeah.
Someone's just
Creating jobs.
Yeah.
stealing all the ramen noodles from the
Creating
grocery
jobs.
stores, going home, forgetting you put it in the microwave for 50 minutes.
Oh no.
man.
I got a second degree burn that way with my quinoa soup. So,
Really? Well, I'm just happy to
Yeah.
hear you're eating.
Yeah, I mean,
That's nice.
every now and then.
How was Denver?
Oh, so good. So some of the best comedy in the country, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for stand-up comedy, Comedy Works as a club is one of the best clubs. And
Did
then-
you go to the weed store?
I did not. I didn't have to. Everybody just had it. So you
Yeah.
just everybody's just smoking all the time. It's pretty
love it.
impressive. Yeah.
It sounds great.
And on the street too. Just we were looking at this state house in Denver, and we're just firing up bowls.
that Elliot Rodgers probably could have used a joint or two, huh?
Poor kid.
I just feel like, let's get back to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
it's,
Marcus, read those stats about the NRA, because I know, Catherine, you like them and shit.
Do I?
I guess so.
I
If you like
right
the guns.
to own guns, I don't necessarily want to go to NRA parties.
No one wants to go to an NRA party. I mean, that's madness.
A
They
keg
celebrate
and
like an
some
Iraqi after a
rifles.
presidential victory. I mean, they just shoot their guns up in the air. I'm a tall guy.
Yeah.
You get hit in the bottom of the chin like a
I
cum shot.
technically stand behind them. Don't want to kick it with them.
No, they're terrifying.
Yes.
Getting all drunk.
Well, the CDC, Center for Disease Control and Prevention, they're only allowed by law to spend $100,000 a year researching gun violence.
That's nothing.
It's not.
That is no money at all.
zero.
How is that?
That's horrifying.
We had, 30,000 deaths last year, was it?
I think more than that. 33 maybe.
And $100,000. That's all that they're.
Yeah.
I mean, heroin kills less people.
Yeah, Edward Markey and Carolyn Maloney of Massachusetts and New York, respectively, they're introducing legislation that'll give the CDC $10 million a year to research guns. That tells you the gap. The
Yeah.
$10 million might be too much. They tend to overshoot, so they can, negotiate down. But still, even the difference between 100,000 and $1 million.
All
Yeah.
government research is bullshit, so I don't really care.
I mean, in this situation, though, the government, I feel like this
All
is one institution where the
research is
government.
bullshit.
I mean, this is one where the government
results
could.
of any government study or whatever the government has determined the results of the study will be before they conduct it.
I don't
Well,
think
I
that's
mean,
what this is
we
about.
know the results of this study. Too many guns lead to a bunch of dead kids in Chicago.
Yeah, I don't think that's what this story is about, though. The story isn't about like what the government research will say. The story is about what the NRA can do to keep.
Elliot was an only child, and I knew that before I found out he was an only child.
Yeah, you just
His
felt
parents
like.
probably
just
told
tell.
him he was a princess from the moment
Definitely
he was born.
acted like a
Yeah,
princess. He
princess.
probably wore the weave that you have
And
on
he was
now.
like, you know what? How could no one want to fuck me when I'm such a star? They all deserve to die.
I mean, I feel like we have a situation of a dude who wanted to blame women for not being attractive enough in his mind for him to try to have sex with them. He wanted to bang dudes.
He's a supreme gentleman.
The supreme gentleman.
gentleman.
That's what Kim Jong-un says, I'm sure. The supreme gentleman. I mean, he's disgusting. I think he's just a selfish dude. And he went to the first of all, there needs to be like an eye test when you walk into a gun place. You need to hold a picture of Adam Lanza and Elliot Rodgers next to a dude's head. And if they have the same eyes, they don't get the gun.
Yeah.
They all look crazy.
His eyes,
look crazy.
his eyes look dead.
They look like
They
crazy
look
eyes.
dead. Oh my!
What, dude? I mean, if you, they prosecute when the actor died here, Philip Seymour Hoffman did the heroin. They prosecuted the folks who sold him the heroin. I think they should prosecute the guy who sold this kid the gun.
Well, the cops had visited Elliot Rodgers 3 times before this happened.
Great, police are stars.
The first time was for an assault that he reported, in which he actually was found out to be the perpetrator and the instigator of the assault.
He reported the assault.
He reported the assault. But he was found
because he's so arrogant.
Yeah, that he thought that he deserved retribution because he got his ass kicked, even though he was the one that assaulted the other human being. The second time was he made a what he called a citizen's arrest on one of his roommates.
Oh, I like this though.
Yeah, on one of his roommates because his
roommate. Oh my God, I'm gonna kill myself. R.I.P. Love you, Mom.
You're just like on the couch and you're like, dude, where's my bong? Where is my bong? Where is my citizen's arrest? Citizen's arrest. You are crazy, man. You're fucking nuts.
God, how do you think that roommate feels right now? It's just like,
he's dead.
He's dead. Yeah, he's
absolutely dead.
He killed all the roommates.
So depending on which, if you went up or down, or
Well, the entire citizen's arrest was over 3 candles worth $22 total.
Don't touch another man's candles.
Nah, I never heard that before, but I guess it's a true rumor now. It's a truth now. That's for damn sure.
Everything I hear in the media.
Did you feel, as a gal, did you feel like really personally, like Elliot Rodgers was like, this is like a personal affront to you as a chick? Or did you see it more as because we did a panel recently and Carol Hartzell was there, the editor for Huffington Post Comedy, and she was
Carol.
Oh, Carol's the best.
I really liked her a lot.
She's phenomenal, and she was talking about how her idea of feminism was the notion that she thought that a woman would be judged on like her unique characteristics and not judged as a mass, this hashtag yes all women implies that they're all the same, and I think that can be dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
so you just felt like this was an isolated case of a dude being a lunatic. You didn't look at this Elliot Rodgers guy and be like, because first of all,
it's giving him too much credit to say that he represents anything in society. He would be so pleased to know that he is being considered some sort of symbol of what's going on in society. That's exactly what he wants.
I think some of these guys, they just want to be celebrities, and this is the only way they can do it.
But is this going to can something good come out of this? Can it raise awareness about, I don't know, getting catcalled on the street? Or
No, you're never going to stop getting catcalled on the street unless, I don't know, maybe some no loitering signs in my neighborhood would be nice.
Dudes who catcall on the street don't have Twitter.
They don't have Twitter. They don't get laid.
Yeah. They're not paying attention to hashtags. The people that are perpetrating, the people that are doing the things that are bothering people so much, they're not going to pay attention. They're not going to pay attention to fucking Facebook
Nobody
activism.
pays attention to hashtags.
No.
Nobody gives a shit. It's the laziest. It makes me sick because then you don't have to actually do anything. You're like, well, you see how many hashtag yes all women tweets that I did?
Trying to get pussy.
I am a feminist.
Yeah.
Will someone have sex with me because of how much of a feminist I am?
I mean, but that's the thing it seems to be working for some dudes. They pretend to be all, feminists and all that nonsense. And it's a good thing. I mean, women are wonderful. Better than me. Every one of them. Hashtag yes, all women are better than Ben. I think we all know that. But it seems to be working for some dudes, but I feel like a lot of ladies like yourself are turning against the whole idea.
I'm immediately suspicious.
Guys are confused.
I'm immediately suspicious of any man that is like, he says he's a feminist. I'm like, well, I'm not a feminist and you're a pussy.
Yeah. So the whole thing's off.
Yeah.
That might have been Elliot Rodgers' problem. And I think, the lips on the guy.
The
really
weird
outstanding
lips.
stuff.
I could use those lips. I wouldn't need to have they use a lot of lip liner on me on TV. They make my lips, they draw on much larger lips than I really have.
Yeah, they really bose you out, huh? Make you look like a clown.
But you know what? I like it.
Yeah.
Okay? Feminists would say I shouldn't like it. Look what they do to you, this fake hair and all this makeup. I'm like, I feel beautiful. I feel like a princess, and it's normal for a woman to want to be pretty.
Do you feel beautiful because society says this is a beautiful look for you? Do you feel beautiful on the inside, like you would do it if no one was even looking at you?
Beautiful on the inside doesn't matter.
There we go.
I mean, it does a little bit,
I mean, well, if it's a lot easier to make people believe you're beautiful on the inside if you're beautiful on the outside.
That's true.
Boob Inspector knows that too.
Oh, Boob Inspector knows a bunch of stuff.
I've got some great fans.
Yeah.
You do. Damn, man. Yeah, that's the whole thing.
I think there's the whole yes all women thing, as you said, like implying that all women are the same,
right.
that they're kind of uniform. I think it's the same mindset that Elliot Rodger
Yeah,
has, in that he thought that all women were the same. Like it's the exact same mindset.
I mean, I will say hashtag yes, all women were jealous of his eyebrows because they were phenomenal.
My eyebrows are amazing. I've never plucked or tweezed
They're no
them.
Elliot Rodgers, I'll tell you that much.
This is the first time I've ever been offended in my whole life. Right now.
Well, I'm sorry, Timpf. You gotta step up your
Hashtag
eyebrow.
happening now.
I mean, the kid was just a spoil. But, it goes to class as well and lack of perspective because he thought that he was like living this tragic life
Oh, my
because
God.
he got, first of all, he went to see the premiere of his father was an
Hunger
assistant
Games.
director. So he got to go see the premiere of Hunger Games, but he was upset because their tickets were given to him by somebody wealthier. And then he got to go to a Katy Perry concert and he got to go backstage, which, by the way, he was tickled.
This is Katy Perry's fault.
I would love to see Elliot Rodger's
Katy
back.
Perry's fault because she didn't have sex with him.
Well, I mean,
The blood is on Katy Perry's hands.
The whole
clearly.
thing?
Yeah, the whole everything.
Katie should have done it.
Katie-
Put down her
Katie,
conservative
if you-
values.
I'm sure you're listening right now, Katie. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. This was all your fault.
I mean, he's a spoiled
Yeah,
kid.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like
So
he
all
could've-
these issues.
Only child.
So we have issues of class, mental health, guns. I mean, I feel like sexism is pretty low on the list.
Pretty low, yeah.
I mean, his 1,400 pages, this manifesto?
140.
140?
Yeah.
What? Is anybody
He wasn't
gonna-
even into women. He was into himself.
That's it.
He was perfectly happy
there-
masturbating in the mirror pretty much all day and all
Yeah.
night. And
It's almost a new sexuality. You can look
It
at porn.
is.
You can selfie yourself. It's what is it? Unisexual?
What is that?
What's
Is that
asexual.
I look in the mirror
No,
quite a bit
asexual
every
is,
day.
No, this is all narcissism.
Just total narcissism.
Of course, this guy's textbook narcissist. You
Yeah.
know, nothing is his fault.
Right.
He's always right. He knows what's best, while nobody else actually has the worldview that he has, which is the correct one. And if everybody shared his worldview, then we'd be living in a utopia.
He's a victim.
I just realized I'm a narcissist.
I mean,
How long's your manifesto?
Oh man, it's about 140 characters. Yeah, I'm just doing it on Twitter. One simple tweet.
I mean, sure, the misogyny is part of it. That's definitely a big part of it. But I think the root of it, I mean, you're right, the root of it is the narcissism.
Yeah.
Like the fucking selfie
selfies.
culture.
What do you
Like,
do?
Selfies,
I mean,
the
if you
Because it's systemic. It goes out. It grows into every other aspect of society.
Yeah.
It's not just dudes like this doing it. It's affecting everything.
right.
it just pisses me off. This one guy murders all these people, and it's like, you know what? Rape culture. It's like the whole, like, phrases like rape culture,
Yeah.
they really take the fault off of the person that actually did it.
But I mean, I think they're talking about you getting catcalled in the streets and how the cops were just sitting there eating their, I want to say donuts, but that's cliche. Let's say pizza. They're eating something.
One of them
For
was eating
sure.
a donut when I got grabbed.
Were they really eating the donuts? You were getting accosted on
Yeah,
the street?
one of them was.
That's
One
always
of them was
fun.
eating a donut.
I love when people live up to stereotypes.
Yeah, right.
And they were all
Love it.
fat, every single one of them. They're all fat because it doesn't actually matter if they can, like, catch somebody. They don't
They have
care.
guns. As soon as cops got guns, they were like, I no longer have to move. I have a bullet that
that's
travels
right.
much faster than I can ever do.
Remember the mass shooting in New York City where a bunch of people got shot, and it turns out it was just the cops trying to hit this one
Yeah, I
guy?
remember
Yeah.
that. It was the cops. I mean, great job, guys. I feel.
But that's all part of the culture. I mean, this whole sort of like fantasy world of Wild West America, even though we're living more like Wall-E than the Wild West at this point. Everyone's just fat as shit hanging out at their, borderline wheelchairs, but they still have this idea that they're all Annie Oakleys.
I mean, I do think there's a culture where
Annie Oakley isn't referenced enough, by the way.
I do think there's a culture where women are disrespected, and
But would you call it rape culture then?
You know what, rape.
Or just disrespect
There's
culture?
Rape is rape. What is
Yeah.
there, a murder culture? Is there, and it's not a culture. Rape is when somebody rapes somebody. And I
Right.
think saying something like rape culture really is offensive to rape victims, because to say, you were raped because of the culture.
Yeah.
The culture made someone rape you. Your rapist didn't make someone rape you.
And then,
There-
so it gives the person an excuse too. Just be like,
It
no,
was
I
the
was
culture.
following Boob Inspector on Twitter.
And Elliot has this excuse, which he shouldn't have. And it's like, there is a problem. I really, really hate the fact that in the summer, when there's more people on the street, that instead of just taking the express train that's closer to my house, I have to walk farther, go to the local train and take it to the express train and add all this time to my commute so I don't get grabbed on the street. That's absolutely horrible, and I hate
Right.
it. But you know what? I don't think any hashtag is going to change anything. These people.
Have you thought about meowing at them like you do?
Yeah.
I think that I might get raped if I did that.
Part of the culture.
Yeah, they're probably
Part of that meow culture.
meow culture. I mean, it's like there's too many issues. It's like all these people are treated, I think, as like you're saying, if we legalize drugs, I think it'd be less of a problem because all you have to do is have one felony on your record, get arrested once while you're young for drugs, and you have a choice after you get out of prison. Either you can work minimum wage, washing dishes somewhere, maybe if you're lucky.
Totally.
Or you can go sell drugs again and maybe have a chance of supporting your family.
Yeah, and of course, the stigma of going to prison, and when you get out of prison, you're never done. Like they keep on adding charges.
Victimless crimes, and you have no choice but to continue your life of crime because of that. It's a huge problem, and but it's not a criminal problem. Being addicted to drugs,
right?
None of these people are like, yeah, I'm going to keep doing this drug because I'm so bad and fuck the police. They're
so you
sick.
think these people that are catcalling you on the streets? I would assume they're all white educated men.
I hate them. I hate them very much because they make me very uncomfortable and it's upsetting. But deep down, I actually really feel bad for them. A lot of them probably, their families, their dads probably were doing the same thing. If they even knew. So then,
what's a good conversation for men to have if you have to do it just to treat ladies with respect? Because obviously, no dude that we know, this is not really our problem. We're not the kind of guys I've never catcalled a girl in my life. I would, yeah, I don't even know how to. I don't even know how you start doing it. So I'm always just.
You do a.
You whistle at them or something.
Hey baby.
Yeah, hey baby, and then But then I don't understand the whole point of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get it either. So what could be?
It's a power thing. They know I'm not going to turn around and be like.
But I'll tell you one thing, if you did turn around and were just like, yeah, great, let me suck that fucking disgusting beanbag.
That heroin dick.
Yeah, yeah. They would be like, no, you haven't been hard in months. These guys are very, they're weak.
That is a culture, and that's a separate culture. It's not it's not like some man. Everyone's looking for every little thing to be a manifestation of some larger problem. Some shit is just fucked up, guys. Some people are just messed up. Some people... we're giving every criminal, every sicko, some sort of out, but because it's some sort of thing that's, it represents a larger part of society.
Right, it's just the
Not
individual.
Everything is an English or a sociology thesis. Okay,
right.
We all need to. Victims are victims of a specific perpetrator.
Yeah. So they just need to take the personal responsibility and stop doing it. And I don't know what else. I don't know. Travis, what could we say to him? We don't know. If a dude that I was hanging out with did it, I would be like, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
You're not helping us get laid tonight, because obviously that's the end goal for every man every morning.
Right.
Is to find a way to get laid during the day.
I did do that. In college, I remember. You remember Take Back the Night, the women march where they march.
Right. They're still doing that.
They still do that.
But are you for Take Back the Night? It's an active thing.
I think that's fine. That's a group that they all have gone through this experience together, and it's a horrible thing that they can't really talk about with everybody, and they found a place where they can talk about that.
And they talk. Great. What do you think about people talking about it on Facebook? Because I'll tell you, everybody and their mother told the stories of them being sexually assaulted this week on Facebook, and I'm on Facebook for one-liners.
Yeah,
I just want to hear jokes or some random links to Karl Rove dancing. Yeah, something like that. The full manifesto of. Everybody goes through these experiences. I was probed by a trophy as a child.
Yes, you were.
What? Wait, hold on.
It is
basketball trophy.
Oh, okay,
long
good,
story.
good.
Very short. That's it.
It is really difficult because the fact is, it's really hard to prosecute a rape case.
Oh, it is so hard.
It's really hard, and that's very sad.
And that's disgusting.
That's just
it's very in favor of the rapist.
Yeah,
if the woman even feels comfortable.
Reported. Those are the ones reported.
Right.
Yeah. Most of them aren't reported.
It's a huge problem. I'm not saying it's not a huge problem.
Right.
The Take Back the Night thing, I'll never forget. These girls go marching by our dorm room, and the guy that lives across the hall yells out "You dumb cunts!" And then I was just like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh yeah, you're right. That was messed up."
That would be rude.
Yeah. Is this Elliot?
So
you go to college with Elliot? What's his name?
It was Elliot, and his lips were looking great.
Oh my goodness! I didn't realize you lived with him.
Yeah, good kid. I was his roommate.
You're
he stole
a survivor.
my candles.
He stole.
No, I stole his candles.
All three
I'll
of them.
come clean.
That's terrible. That's
kid.
terrible. So, I mean, I guess at the very least, the conversation has been started with Elliot Rodger shooting up all these people.
But where's it going to go?
But, I mean, nowhere.
Where's
Doesn't it just
gonna go?
die on the internet? The internet has the life expectancy of a sperm, right?
That's right.
As soon as it hits
That's
the air, it's
problem.
gone.
It's
Next
because
week,
it's-
some other guy, yeah.
It is a real problem that there's
Right.
women that are getting raped, and you report it. Cool, good luck. Anybody who is friends with this guy is gonna say, well, you know what? I heard she did this slutty thing. She just did this slutty thing. It's a lot more likely that it's gonna turn out worse for you, and that's a real problem. And it turned into some sort of Twitter gimmick is not helpful, and it's like offensive. It's like Twitter is like hashtag follow Friday. Hashtag throwback Thursday.
Hashtag if your dick was a movie.
Right.
Ooh, if my dick was a movie, it would be Annie Hall.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You're really going for
If
it.
my dick were a movie, it'd be Big Mama's House 2.
Ooh, I like that one. What's your dick movie, Catherine?
I've seen like 2 movies. One of them is Happy Gilmore.
Oh, Perfect Cock.
That's a great cock movie.
Hashtag
That's
Happy
ideal.
Gilmore.
Birds.
The Birds, of
Yeah.
course, bunch of bones and things like that. Naturally. Yeah.
Hashtag sweater.
Go to
meat.
your home, Happy.
Yeah.
Go to your happy home.
That is actually now a very good movie.
I'm
It's a
going to
good movie.
rewatch that movie from
It
the
holds up.
perspective of it's actually a dick movie.
Yeah, it's pretty perfect.
The whole world's a dick movie. The world is run by men. And that's not
Yeah.
going to change by a Twitter hashtag. It's not going to change by anything. And it's like you can.
Who are these men? Not us.
You're not us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have no patriarchy.
Well,
to
that's.
blame.
I mean,
I
that's
know.
actually.
You are
that's
white
what-
men, and it's your own fault if you're not successful.
I know. This is the problem. This is what we have to deal with every day. We're supposed to be successful.
Well, I read an article today that was shared a ton of times by a ton of people is that we're not even supposed to acknowledge, like we're supposed to apologize just for being white. We're supposed to
No, I know, and I
constantly-
can't-
Right.
Like, we're supposed to constantly acknowledge that, oh, okay, yes, I am white. And we're not allowed to have opinions anymore.
Well, you,
right.
That's what happened to Suey Park when she was on HuffPo Live, when she was interviewing these guys. They were the white men, and so she was like, well, I'm used to white men talking over me, and I don't think that you as a white man should have an opinion. It was all about the cancel Colbert, but it turned into a bigger...
Go into this. Suey Park, she was the hashtag cancel Colbert because Colbert made a Asian joke
Making fun of racism.
making fun of racism, which that's unacceptable. So she wanted to cancel the show and get rid of this guy's entire career over one bad joke, and I actually don't even know if it was a bad
I thought
joke.
it was a great
That
joke.
was actually a good joke.
It was a funny joke.
But that's what she was talking about on Huffington Post. How white dudes should no longer have an opinion.
Yeah, and then there's some
How many
other...
white guys have catcalled you, by the way, Kat?
It's like all dudes, right?
I mean, it's like all dudes, right?
Yeah, everyone.
I mean, it depends. There's been neighborhoods. There's low income black neighborhoods. There's low income white neighborhoods. It's really more, I think, about people that have nothing better to do than stand on the street because they can't get a job that's worth it. They're going to make more money standing on the street selling drugs.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing.
that old Dean Martin song, standing on the corner watching all the girls go by? Mm-hmm. And then there's a line in there, is because you can't go to jail for what you're thinking.
Well, you can in the future. I'll tell you that much.
I actually saw on, of course, Facebook. It's the world's social media right now. Some guy holding a sign being like, I need feminism because I contribute to rape culture without even knowing it. And that's the problem, because it's just like, instead of actually addressing the issue or what's going on, it's like, oh, there's this rape culture that we don't really understand, and we're all automatically contributing to it. So I'm just going to accept the fact that it exists and I must be contributing to it rather than trying to figure out what's actually specifically going on or why or how to solve it.
With each individual, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the whole thing. I mean, I don't know. I've never... I guess I'm done apologizing for being white. I guess I never really did. I don't know what to apologize for.
I refuse to apologize for
You have
something
all
I have nothing to
personally
do with.
oppressed me.
Yeah.
Your privilege.
But merely by existing.
By existing,
Yeah.
you have oppressed me, and I'm not able to live to my full potential.
Well, I like this oppression. This is nice.
Yeah.
This is good.
I refuse to apologize for something I had no choice in.
Yeah, says
I
the gal
had
who was just on one of the most
The
famous shows in America.
And the patriarchy made me shower before I went on. Thanks a lot.
That's not bad.
No, I love showering. I like to be clean, and I like to wear princess hair, and I like to wear heels and a little dress and be pretty.
And this is good.
Yeah.
And this is fun for you.
And
But if a
that's
gal doesn't want to
normal.
do that, they don't have to do that.
Either that or they're jealous because they're too fat.
Oh, take it easy. Leave me alone.
Oh boy.
We were building up some goodwill there.
Oh my goodness.
I thought we were about to solve it all.
Isn't that the
you guys are uncomfortable because I was right.
Yeah, well, you're always right, Catherine.
Yeah.
Well, in the way that you think you are. And that's important. Every woman should feel, everyone's opinions are valid. That's what I always say.
Yeah. This is America, and you have the right to think you're right.
That's right.
Look, if I were fat, I'd still be a real person. I believe that.
Well, yeah, you would be a real yeah, fat people are real people, too. I feel like you're trying to convince yourself
I don't
of
think I'm
this.
getting enough credit for how closely I count my calories.
I mean, you talk about it all the time.
I do.
It's pretty much all you talk about.
You give yourself so much credit for it. I mean, I don't even... You look okay.
Normally I do look okay. Right now I look fucking fabulous.
Right now you look pretty good.
Yeah.
Is that what this whole show has been about? Dear Elliot Rodgers.
Oh my God.
Unzip your female outfit
Yes,
and
all
reveal
women.
that you are Elliot
Yes, all
Rodgers.
This show would be very successful if that.
Oh yeah, it would be
Elliot
great.
Rodger
We found
stopped by
him.
today.
We found him.
Yeah.
Hey,
He's
girl.
still alive.
Hashtag sweater meat.
Oh, sweater meat's the best.
Sweater
It's
meat.
the worst
I
fucking...
can't.
I never heard of sweater meat before. What do you think is the biggest issue this week here with this shooting, Elliot Rodgers? What do you think, Travis?
I mean, I want to hear what Boob Inspector thinks about all this. I'm just constantly just like, what does this dude think?
I mean, I think. What do you think?
Elliot Rodgers is a specific crime, just like crimes that occur every day.
Yeah.
Where there's a perpetrator and there are victims. It's not some sort of sign of what's going on in the entire society.
I really don't think that he realized he was doing this in reality. That's how crazy this guy was.
Yeah, he was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I just...
And then what do you think about these? There's a bunch of conspiracy theorists out there who think it was all staged.
There
It's
always
Is it
is.
Alex Jones?
Yeah.
Is it,
What would be the point of staging
Going to
this?
YouTube, Elliot Rodgers, Building 7,
Oh yeah.
Illuminati.
The plane doesn't fit. They said it looked like a missile. Okay.
Travis, you hate conspiracy theories.
No, I love them.
You love 'em.
I love them, but of course, they get ridiculous at some point.
Yeah.
But you're right, because there's the same thing with Newtown. Anytime there's a shooting, the conspiracy theorist guys like Alex Jones are like, this is just a ploy by the government, 1776.
The Boston Marathon was the same way. I mean, I feel like, I mean, Catherine, obviously you hate the government, and you're, Travis, you're for a limited government as well.
I believe
But do you
so.
think at some point it becomes dangerous to hate the government so much? I
No.
mean, never. To the point where you see reality happen in front of you, like an
Okay, so
explosion
are you one of
or a
those?
mass
Are
shooting.
you one of those people that trusts the government more than corporations? Like the government isn't the most powerful corporation.
I trust the government more to the degree that you vote for these people and theoretically
You
they're out for the
vote.
public.
Votes count.
Votes do count. I mean, they do
Cat's
count.
never voted.
I know
I've
this is
never
upsetting
voted.
to me.
I've
You
never
have to
voted.
vote.
I think
Voting's
that's
very
really
Do
important.
I have to vote?
Yeah, I think so. Voting's vital because
It's not.
more of a personal thing than it is.
You trust that all of these people. It really matters to
I
them
would
that
trust-
they accurately count your vote because you matter so much in the
Yeah, it is an
democracy
ego
matters.
boost.
Even
But yeah,
voter
you can
fraud.
It's not. It's all about an ego boost. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's all a joke.
Voter fraud is rampant.
voter fraud is huge. Of course, the people who make the machines are all in bed with these lunatics.
yeah,
We
right,
talked
right.
about it on the episode
Dimple
of last
chaps.
podcast on the left.
Franklin cover-up.
Franklin cover up. Check that out.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah,
but I
the men who
think
make the voting machines are linked to the Omaha World Herald, and the Omaha World Herald is linked to the Franklin Credit Union, which is actually a
Warren Buffett.
pedophile, which is
pedophile
more.
ring.
Yeah.
Warren Buffett is also involved in it as well.
Oh, good. Okay. I thought
They're all
I'm
involved.
sure he'd pop
But-
up.
But
somewhere.
corporations are there to profit, right? Theoretically, government is there to
Well,
help.
also, how is the government not just owned by like the corporations?
Well, they are now.
It's
They
all
are
the
completely-
same.
So this is
How
the
not
question.
all
They're all
the
in bed
same?
with each other.
So if you don't like the government, but you're pro corporations, I mean, corporations have more power than the government at this point, don't you think?
Not necessarily.
It's just the people with the money. I mean, I remember in Ohio, 2004, with the voter fraud, the Secretary of State, Ken Blackwell, was a stakeholder in Diebold, the company that made all the voting machines.
Yeah.
And it was just.
And did he end up winning?
Not when he ran for governor, but yeah, Secretary of State, he had that one on lockdown pretty good.
Yeah.
And then I remember the only congresswoman in Ohio who talked about it, she wound up dying of a brain aneurysm in her car.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stephanie Tubbs Jones. God bless.
Stephanie Tubbs Jones.
It was a rough middle name, but you know, she was a really sweet lady. I met her right before she died.
What is-
I'm sorry, was murdered. I'm sorry.
No, you believe that she was murdered.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's possible.
I mean, what, a woman just gets a brain aneurysm and
People get brain aneurysms.
While they're driving every time.
Anytime.
A congresswoman who was about to go against Barack Obama. All right, sorry.
I mean, I don't know if she would have been able to defeat it.
1776. I'm just gonna get into it.
Oh my goodness! I mean, I think the government could do something good, especially when it comes to like gun control and things like this. I think this is a government issue. This is something I think the state should handle.
So, okay,
it.
what specifically in terms of policy would you like to see? With
No
gun
more
control?
semi-assault rifles. What's the point?
You realize Elliot Rodger stabbed 3 of those people who died.
Yeah, he stabbed the first. I mean,
God.
that's an issue of the dude should have not. Again, there has to be a checklist. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's similar to what you do to get into college, where you're just like, what's your personality like?
Knife control.
Well, if
Should we
you look-
register all of our knives
You gotta
also?
register those knives.
I mean, if you look at, I guess, pathology of a serial killer or a mass murderer, you could argue. I think this goes more towards the gay theory. Is that he said the fact that he stabbed the roommates that suggests a very
It's more personal.
very
Oh, yeah.
personal,
That's how I
very
do
a
it.
lot of rage there. But if he would have ran out on the street, like he wounded 13 people, and he wounded those 13 people drive-by shooting, like out of his car, and he's not gonna. I mean, he's not
That
gonna be.
wasn't his person.
He's not gonna be driving throwing knives at people.
Yeah.
right.
Right.
No, the drive-by shooting is the equivalent of eating in the dark. You just want to get fulfilled, but you're like, I don't want to see the pain. I don't want. Yeah.
Right.
No, one of the witnesses did say he was smiling the entire time.
I'm sure he was listening to the
sure he
Happy
was.
song by
See,
Pharrell.
how is this
Yeah.
Because I'm
man?
happy.
How could he ever be seen as some sort of like symbol of society? Smiling and stabbing? I don't think so.
I watched a few of his YouTube videos.
He's
and,
got YouTube videos too.
He's got a
Again,
whole
that's
channel.
That's what
another
we're talking
test.
about.
Another test is
That's what
they-
we're talking
yeah.
about, Travis.
Yeah.
You didn't see the YouTube video?
Narcissism. Now I
You
get
didn't
it.
see
Oh, he's got
YouTube
all the-
video?
Now I get it.
No,
You didn't
he's got a
see it?
full
yeah.
channel. There's one video.
It's called
that's
My
just-
Weird World or something like
Yeah,
that.
something like My Twisted World or something like that. There's one video of him just in traffic, and he's listening to the police, I think. He has a fucking awful mid-'80s adult
Roxanne?
contempo music taste.
These are
And it's
always the
just
people who
him-
do it.
And it's just him showing the traffic in front of him, and then the camera back on him for a little while, and he's just going, like, he's just mugging at the camera, blowing kisses, like giving it eyes, and then back to the
Narcissism.
traffic, and then back again. And he posted that to YouTube.
If it was,
And he did about 3 of those.
If
by
he was
the
in
way.
traffic waiting for a red light and it was Roxanne, you have to turn on the red light.
Yeah,
That's fun.
That's funny.
that's funny.
But
Sure.
this is just blatant narcissism, and yeah, that's.
You got to do a smile
I
test
take
for
a
these
lot of
people before they get guns.
selfies.
Yeah, you take, but you're a self-obsessed person, as we all are. But you channel it through Fox and Friends and art and
We're
being
all
a smart
comedians.
person.
Don't
We're
act
all
like we're
comedians.
not all self-obsessed.
That's what I'm
Right,
saying.
yeah, no,
Don't
we
put
are.
this
We
all
are.
on me.
I
We
literally-
are.
no, I
he's
just
right.
said that.
We all are. Yeah, but we don't kill people.
Yeah, no, because we're busy. That's it.
I'm too high to kill anybody.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I think there's got to be a personality. You got to. I need to see your smile, and I need to see I need to show you like a
Okay.
Unit 731 video.
So this
you
could
know,
be-
the Japanese war, the torture that happened in Japan, and if I see you smirk,
Yeah.
oh, you don't get the gun.
That's
you don't get a gun.
This should be the new law. This should be the new policy.
You need to hold up Adam Lanza pictures, Elliot Rodger's pictures, see if you have the same eyes. If you do, that's bad.
Right.
If you smile at torture films, that's not good. Although, I probably wouldn't be able to buy a gun.
No,
But that's okay. And then you just need to you need to have a personality exam before you can buy these firearms. What's the point of getting, the dude couldn't even get, the guy would get carded for buying tobacco.
You do realize there are other ways to get firearms besides the legal way.
Well, the loophole that is 50%, which is all the gun shows, and that's just, that's a whole nother
I mean,
world of
also,
madness.
if you really want a weapon and you're a bad person in bad circles, there are weapons around. And
That's
I hate
true,
to
but
be
if
all
you were
NRA-ish
Elliot, okay, but
about
you're
it.
telling me that Elliot would have gone to the ghetto of Santa Monica to get an illegal gun? There is no way that dude
I'm
would
not,
have
but I'm
gone.
saying he stabbed the first 3 people. He
Yeah, that's
easily
true.
knocked on the sorority house door, went in and stabbed people there. This was a violent guy,
Right.
who just, he didn't, I mean, the gun was just another weapon that he used. He used multiple weapons. I don't think the gun was a problem here.
I mean, he would have just stabbed the 3.
Yeah, 13. The 13 people that were wounded wouldn't have gotten wounded without the gun.
Sure.
Yeah, the gun helps, and the car does too, I suppose. I mean, I understand the argument.
Well, Adam Lanza, it wasn't his gun.
Yeah, it was his mom's gun.
It was his mom's gun.
And that's
Oh
where,
my goodness!
'cause
Well, he got a gun for his birthday.
Ooh.
I mean, he was
had
trained
so
to
many.
shoot. She took him out and
Well, I
trained
don't-
him to shoot.
That's the thing. I just don't know. There's just no real way to get to learn to be very good with a semi-assault rifle. The only thing that would be the ultimate reward, the only Super Bowl you have, is shooting up a mall, isn't it? I mean, do you really have that much fun shooting cans?
Yeah.
If I was very good.
It's pretty fun.
Shooting cans is fun.
Shooting cans is a fucking great time.
Yeah.
I could see if I was stoned.
Yeah, with a
Yeah.
fucking AR-15 shooting cans. Whew, it's an afternoon.
Pumpkins. We used to shoot pumpkins down in Athens, Ohio. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
guns,
fun.
A lot of my family in Texas when I was younger, they're all really into guns. My dad's whole side of the family lives in Texas. They used to have a lot of fun taking me to the gun range when I was little, and I was really underweight, having me shoot a rifle and laugh when the force of it made me fall down. And it was fun for them for hours. And, I don't know. I mean, just because maybe I don't get it. I don't get it either. But
I just don't get it. I feel like a handgun. I mean, again, yeah. Rogers isn't the best example for the gun control argument because he did just use a handgun.
Yeah.
He should not have had
3
guns.
handguns.
Knife.
3 of them, yeah. But I do think, a handgun, that's okay, personal protection and stuff like that. I just don't know why somebody would need an AK-47.
You know what? Also, though, I think the gun control movement only makes the gun fetish movement stronger.
So you think, but what is the gun control movement? It has no power. That's also, and it's really hurting people like Alex Jones because they're all false flag, taking the guns. After Newtown, I think there was 100 pieces of legislation, and 3 of them were for gun control, and the other 97 were for loosening gun laws.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Is that people are like gun control, and and then the people who have guns and the NRA, which is more powerful, are saying, "See, look, they are trying to take our guns away."
But they're not.
Right? Exactly. But it's because of these gun control efforts and this hype about that people who have guns get more fired up and they buy more guns.
But these are the I mean, I don't. It's just I just can't. I don't feel bad for them.
I don't either, but the reality is these people get more hyped up, they get more money, they get more donations as soon as they hear any politician say anything about maybe being like, you know what, you can only buy one gun.
Limiting a clip to 40
Yeah.
bullets as opposed to 160. Which, by the way, if you do want to kill somebody, get a 40 clip thing because that's what happened to Holmes. It locks up and it's not very good. He thought it looked very cool, but again, style before substance. Classic. That's the problem with Americans today.
There is one thing though about the NRA that their point about when you have a no gun zone, like Newtown was a no gun zone. A lot of these
It was a middle school.
Yeah, sure. But that's what they were saying is that if you had a good guy there, a guard with a gun, he could have shot this Lanza kid.
Yeah, and
right? I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No, I know.
But there are plenty of examples of mass shootings in which there was somebody there with a gun.
With a gun,
and it made no difference whatsoever.
It just
and in
makes
fact, there was a couple of examples of them shooting bystanders.
It's like the cops
Like the
shooting
cops
up
at
the
NYPD. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And those are cops.
And
those are
cops.
trained fucking professionals, or supposedly trained
fat,
professionals.
love
Are
donuts.
they?
But exactly.
Are
but
they,
fucking,
or they just not wanted to do a 4-year degree? And they
Yeah,
didn't
I think
like
that's
the
it.
That
skills.
girl just got grabbed. Pass another donut.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, all cops are just people who couldn't be firemen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
Because
point.
firemen are the most respected human beings in society.
And that's where they should all move to Denver
Oh yeah.
and just start, living the dream.
I'm just
That's
saying
right.
when we stop, how much cooler does it make a crazy person to be like, oh, guns are so dangerous, don't own a gun, blah, blah, blah. I mean, instead of being like, yeah, if you're obsessed with guns, you're a loser.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I feel like
if you
that's
were-
the problem. Cool, you like a gun? Yeah, you're cool. Instead of like, oh wow, no, that's not cool. Like, yeah, whatever. Well, I'm gonna buy a gun a day. What do you know what I mean? Like,
I'm with you.
The more
so you want
badass
to
they
publicly
make
shame
them
them. You want to
seem.
embarrass people with the guns. You don't. So you don't think the government should put a law in place. You just think that girls should stop having sex with dudes who buy guns.
I mean, girls are never gonna stop having sex with guys who have guns.
That's the thing. I might get a gun.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a gun. I'm gonna get a gun a day.
One gun a day for. I mean, all right. Well, we can continue the conversation forever, and we will. All right. So that's what is it? Casey Timpf at Twitter.
Yes.
And then tweet at this boobs inspector. Tell him to.
Boob inspector.
Yeah, tell him to do something with his life, and call him all fat and stuff like that.
Tell him about push-up and padded bras.
Yeah, he's
got to do a better job.
He has got to do a better job. If she's skinny, they're not real boobs. They're fake boobs. Or they're
necessarily
bra boobs. Nah, yeah, well, nah.
All right. Stop ruining Boob Inspector's fantasy here. For Christ, he's a lonely guy. He lives in his mother's basement. All right, that's Travis Irvine on Twitter. I'm Ben Kissel on Twitter. That's Marcus Parks on Twitter. This has been Top Hat, and we will talk to you guys soon. Anything else to plug?
Denver?
Go to Denver.
Go to Denver. Everybody
Yeah.
get high.
You're good? All right. That's fine. We'll talk to you soon.